We are back again, beloved multiversal cosmic familia. While I was away, I did a little tidying up around my space and did a little writing because I'm going to tell you why. At first, I was inspired by um, some kind of like low density ish trying to infiltrate. So to combat that, I decided to go put on some music and do a little bit of cleaning and dancing while I was cleaning. Now I'm still vibing. Like I can feel the energy going out the palms of my hands. It's 111 on the timer. So I wrote at two different times, and think what you want of it. This is just kind of where my mind goes sometimes. Sometimes I'm not even sure if it's my thoughts and if it's something else, or a little mashup of both. Like, who doesn't love a good mashup, right? So, the first time I took a pause, I wrote, "Let's jam, Mr. and Ma'am. When it comes to sub-programming, we're the ones wearing white after Labor Day, coming in clutch, shining that light for the NPCs and the zombies, all with humility as grace paves the way." And then I came back a little bit later and wrote, a response to the negative voltage that I felt coming in. These cards are tools, and we are the instruments. For our guitar lovers, we can relate it to the guitar picks. Are you going to tell an adept musician to put down their guitar? Likely not. So why would you tell a teacher to put down her chalk and flashcards? When I do storytelling with cards, that's exactly where my mind goes and nowhere else. And I catch negative voltage as it presents itself, and we don't allow it to stick around for very long. Just know that. Everyone is susceptible, 313, to low level spirits. And when it comes to the sub-programming, we are the rebels. 333. So, we're going to go back into the Rose Oracle because I was having so much fun this morning doing that storytelling, and I'm like, well, why stop? Like, why stop? I took a break away from this so that I could go be fully present somewhere else. So that's really all there is to it, and I got some things accomplished in the end. Interestingly enough. So here we are, back again, going back into the Rose Oracle. Because we're doing another session in the same day, if the same card comes out in a shuffle, I'm going to make it a point to neutralize that card and continue on so that we don't necessarily have a repeated message twice in the same day. Sometimes that happens regardless, and it happens with many of us because, as it's been heavily mentioned, that energy doesn't just go away. And we do live in a distorted world. And when you know, you know. Like, disengage or don't engage with certain frequencies. We'll just leave it there. Yeah. Low-level spirits, they can creep up on anybody. At the bottom of the deck, we have the return, a new story. You decide, alignment, and it's coming together. If this is not a just legendary spin-off of today's first video, I don't know what else to say. I can barely spit it out. This is that in a nutshell, right here. This card is a summary of today's first video. Oh, I can feel it all throughout. I can feel it. I know it. And it's been a long time coming. Yes. Change is gonna come. Oh, yes it is. Change gonna come. You see that? Alignment. It's coming together. Don't mind the turmeric stains on my fingernails. I didn't take time to soak my fingertips in vinegar before I came back, so you're just gonna have to mind your business and don't judge. But I have turmeric stains on my fingernails. And I don't care. Alright, moving along. The return, a new story. You decide. Alignment. It's coming together right now. Over. Yes, the return. Let's find it in the glossary. The return. I like the sound of that. 106, the return. 6 plus 1 is 7. Highway to heaven. I don't know why I just heard that. But it was fun. See, now I distracted myself. 106. The return. Yes. You've waited patiently for this moment. You've likely been working on the inner for some time, and now the outer is beginning to come into alignment. As changing beings, we're in a never-ending growth cycle. This doesn't mean that we're constantly in bloom. No. This means that we're constantly changing. This card is like the bloom. Ooh, I had to take a breath. However, it's more powerful than that. It heralds the coming and going of a whole new way of being. An entirely new story has been written. This card heralds a great shift in your life. This often takes time, sometimes even lifetimes. Acknowledge how far you've come and how much you have grown. You are part of creating change, not only in your own life, but in the world. Take a moment to take it in. You are just one of many, but your being here matters. a petal in the rose of a new humanity. Oh, woo! The hairs on my neck just stood on end like holy warriors ready to return. Yes, an entirely new story has been written. This card heralds a great shift in your life. This often takes time, sometimes even lifetimes. Acknowledge how far you've come and how much you've grown. You're part of creating change, not only in your own life, but in the world. Take a moment to take it in. You're just one of many, but your being here matters. A petal in the rose of a new humanity, part of the forever unfolding. I can feel it. I can feel that in my face. I can feel that in the top of my head. Tingle, tingle. Higher selves mingle. Yes. This card is like the bloom, but more powerful. Things are aligning for you and around you. They're covenanting and coming together. You're in the right place at the right time. Message. This card is delivering a message of harmony, coming together, and the embodiment of holding a clear vision for many years. You've been doing the groundwork to get to this moment right here. Unearthing. Get it? Groundwork. Unearthing. Beautiful synchronicity with this card and the first message of the day. Perhaps for months, years, or even lifetimes. Use this moment. You get to decide what happens next. And there's a transmission to this beautiful card, beloveds. I acknowledge how far I've come and how much I've grown. I decide what happens next. Ooh, I almost just want to leave it alone. Thank you, Rebecca and Katie Louise. For creating this deck of cards full of teachable moments. Utterly harmless. In alignment. I see an embrace in the card, but the gesture also shown, if you look very close, is likely not one that I would like to share on social media. We'll just say it's a rather sensual embrace, and could be misinterpreted for other things or gestures. So, moving along. Ooh. What a beautiful split. I'm going to begin with the right hand and the masculine side of the split. The wastelands. And the key energies of this card are sustainability, slowing down, and tending to your garden. It's actually a rather beautiful pose. Age appropriateness, it may not be so fortunate in terms of different age brackets. Tending to your garden. And I'm literally hearing tend to your own garden. Just tend to your own garden. I think that's a message for all of us. Alright, so let's see. The Wastelands. This card is unfamiliar to me, so... And I'm not really picking up much more off of it intuitively, so... The Wastelands. I'm confused. How am I overlooking it twice? Perhaps that's even a message within itself. Okay, 136. I didn't go far enough. Imagine that. What way of being is no longer sustainable for you? Interesting. Oh, I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm not even gonna apologize. I can't hold that card up. Some of the artwork is a little suggestive, so we're just gonna leave it at that. There's an anonymous 13th century French myth in the form of a poem called The Elucidation that helps the story of a king who abuses the land he's supposed to be the guardian of. The king breaks the trust of the well maidens, the spirits who were guarding the wells of the land, and they flee. The water runs dry, the plants wilt, and the land, which was once rich and fertile, becomes barren, creating a wasteland. Ooh, this is the most powerful card in the deck. Okay. So, is it self-check-in time, beloved? It's a wake-up call for us to stop the destructive behavior that's resulting in us becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need and that she doesn't need to take more than she needs. Yes, I was taught from a young age, and I don't remember exactly verbatim how it goes, but we lived mostly off the land when I was younger, and I highly advise it. Remember that saying, God made dirt and dirt don't hurt? Anyways, I wasn't like literally living off the land, like eating dirt. That's not what I mean, but I mean it's. But listen, um, even while fishing, we were taught to only fish for a day. Only fish for the amount of nourishment required for the day. And I stand on that. I mean, IMHO, no love lost though, you know? Bars. The sacred feminine is abundant. Yes. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need and that she doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends the earth around her and within her. She's the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. The rose has seen civilizations come and go, empires rise and fall. In this card, she's delivering an urgent message to slow down and stop any way of being that's not sustainable. So, what I'm going to say in terms of she is referring to the divine feminine within each and every one of us, regardless of gender and belief systems. Free will is a thing. You don't even have to believe what I'm saying. Like, it's okay. Pop your collar, baby. Yeah, we love you anyway. She tends the earth around her, and within her she's the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. The rose has seen civilizations come and go, empires rise and fall. In this card, she's delivering an urgent message to slow down and stop any way of being that's not sustainable, to release anything that's making us brittle, to tend our garden, our bodies, and the earth around us. And I read the inquiry beforehand, but as it states, what way of being is no longer sustainable for you? I say love and light, but also take no shit. That's what I say. And if someone doesn't like it, the exit is that way. Okay, one more. And we're going to do another split, except this time we're going to do it differently for only one card. Ooh. 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 We've been speaking a lot lately about remembering, well, connecting with our roots or realigning with our root, working on that root meridian as well as the solar plexus. And interestingly enough, that energy is still here. The grandmothers, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Beautiful. Look at that image. What a graceful way to demonstrate like a visual of, like, you can imagine this image in your mind, but with your ancestors and elders. And just know, in doing so, they are all other selves, higher selves, even in some cases, but not all. Some of us awaken even before our own parents, and that's okay too. And again, that's a no love lost thing. It's truly not. We're being guided to love even the unconscious. Now, this is not me implying anything towards my own family. Don't get it twisted. We're not going there. I'm just saying that not, like, there, being a child who has been called an old soul or before your time, a little before your time type of energy being projected, you'll understand that some people absolutely do awaken before their elders. But in this case, we're being guided to connect a little bit deeper now. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. A little ASMR. Go deeper. Whoa. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. Expand. Contract. Expand. Contract. Connect. Deeper. We're always connected. Sometimes we're just unconscious of it. And then we're not. Until we're not. 27:27 on the timer. Ooh, let's look it up real quick. And then we will talk about grandmothers. Oh my goodness. I was at one of my grandmother's side during the process of her passing. It was both painful and beautiful in the same space, interestingly enough. Ooh, spiritual growth. Wow. Interestingly enough, the last number we looked up, the 2323, was also about growth. But I don't think it specified. Did it specify spiritual growth? I don't think so. Personal growth, but not necessarily spiritual growth. Alright, back to this one. Trust your instincts when making decisions. Practice self-reflection and do grounding exercises like meditation to achieve enlightenment. Well, that's very suggestive. I mean, how do I put that? It's subjective, is what I meant. Subjective. There's all kinds of things we can do to ground. And do please take any suggestions that I share here with a grain of salt and not as law. Okay? You'll be happy to know that this is an incredibly positive and divine sign. Your higher selves are trying to remind you of the importance of maintaining balance in your personal life, career, and relationships. And that energy has been heavy. Oh my goodness. It's been heady. Also, encouraging you to trust your intuition and embrace your future as it comes to you. Embracing that new story. See it? A new story. A new story. I am in such a great mood. Oh my gosh. Oops. I gotta stop doing that. I forget how much is behind my breath. Like, ooh. The wastelands. And the grandmothers. So we have a balance of masculine and now feminine energy. A merger, beloveds. Trust the weavings. I have a really good feeling about the message that's about to come from the book. This is why I call it storytelling, especially when I'm breaking in a new deck. But sometimes I still like to bring in the guidebook and just make it more of a storytelling, type of atmosphere, and be more versatile, switch things up a bit every once in a while. Everything isn't going to be for everyone, and that's okay. There is a transmission with this card. I reach my roots all the way back to go forward. I call upon the sacred strength and support of my ancestors who did not forget to be with me now. I acknowledge the difficulties and what's coming up to be healed, and I do so for all who are yet to come. One of my biological grandmothers I never had a chance to meet. But the ones I did, no matter the ups and downs, I love them all so very much. And interestingly enough, you think that over time you stop thinking about our elders so much. But there is also some truth in remembering them more, thinking of them more, as we too get to the roots. Apparently it's a season for it because It's been in the air, possibly even in the spring water. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. The rose was here long before you and me, and long before humanity itself. She holds within her the rememberings of civilizations past, roots that reach back for millions of years and hold the codes of creation. Ooh! Oh, that went all the way up my spine. Let's keep going. They carry with them the songs of the ancient grandmothers of the earth. Can you hear their song? When this card appears in a spread, it's an invitation to reach all the way back. All the way back. I say all the way back. To go forward. To reach your roots deep. To soar high. The ancient grandmothers are calling for you to remember the wisdom of your ancestry, long before colonialism severed so much that is sacred, before the rise and fall of empires and entire civilizations, all the way back, all the way back. I said all the way back. Ooh, I felt that. To the origins of humanity. They're calling us to play our part in this time of healing, beloveds. To heal and integrate what we have inherited in our ancestral lines. It's not personal. These are changing, healing times that we came here for. To reconnect and reach all the way back to the original mother, and to see our role as the ancestors of those who are yet to come. To remain grounded and rooted in our lives, so that no matter how rocky things get, we always know we are home. A moment of silence for our ancestors. All right. We're going to bring this to a close now with what is coming through. I can't even remember now if I said that was going to be the last card or not. But I'm actually feeling guided to do another split. And then that will be our close. The Holy Grail. Stop the endless searching. and the rose garden behind it. I'm not going to read on the rose garden today, but we're going to leave off with it, and we're going to, I'm sure we all have some small but perhaps keen idea of what the Holy Grail is. Just know, even though you can't see the words, that this card represents the custom, authentic description of their interpretation of the Holy Grail. Perhaps with this card we will even see where we either agree or disagree. But either way, we're going to agree to disagree and still get by. Interestingly enough, the page number for the Holy Grail is 88. And we are in year 8. Stop the endless searching, inner quest. Can you go within and focus more on what really matters? A long sought after relic about which stories have been told through the ages, believing it holds the key to eternal life and divine union. Many devote their lives to discovering and possessing it. It's featured in the legends of King Arthur, the knight Galahad, Galahad, whichever. More than likely pronounced both ways, depending on where you're from. Achieved the vision of God through the Grail. In Christian mysticism, I'll repeat that. In Christian mysticism, the Grail is the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper, and afterward by Yusuf of Arimathea to catch blood. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I said we're just going to have to agree to disagree on some things. Anyways, it was taken to the Isle of Avalon, and according to legend, and buried on Chalice Hill in Glastonbury, UK. Which turned Glastonbury, UK, which turned the chalice well waters red. Pilgrims traveled from all corners of the world today to drink from these healing waters. Some believe the Grail legend predates Christ and was inspired by the wells and cauldrons of Welsh and Celtic mythology. The Holy Grail, they might be on to something there. The Holy Grail is the ultimate spiritual quest. Many see quests as physical places to journey to, conquer, or find. But perhaps the Grail is an invitation to go inward, to connect with the grace within, to find it without. To realize that this journey of drinking from the eternal well is to find it deep within as the part of us that cannot be extinguished. Perhaps this is why the rose is a symbol that goes with the Grail, her petals calling us to spiral in, for it's there that we find the nectar of all that we've searched for, patiently waiting for us to return it. Stop looking without, stop the endless searching, and turn your gaze within. And the inquiry with this card is, how can you go within and focus more on what really matters? I'll give you a hint. You can start with being a bit more gentle with yourself. Thank you so very much, beloved Cosmic Familia, for tuning in whenever you tune in. With much gratitude and appreciation. Brightest blessings.